Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Vonk presentation at In-House Live Digital. So, first of all, it's great to be at this event today, this online event. Of course, it's a big shame that we can't be there in person to deliver these presentations, to speak with people face to face, and to network. But hopefully, this can return back to its normal format next year. But in the meantime, we really hope that we can still share some thoughts, share some knowledge in this format, and that's why today we decided to focus our presentation on the great rehiring. So what do we mean by the great rehiring? Essentially, we want to look at how companies can transform their traditional recruitment advertising approach to adapt to the post-COVID labor market. So what we want to do is we want to look at what a potential post-COVID labor market may look like. Of course, there's a lot of uncertainty right now, but there's already ways that we can look to adapt to what is happening and what potentially may happen in the future, and be prepared for that. So first of all, my name is Tristan. I've worked for Vonk for over 4 years now. Vonk is 14 years old, so we were founded in 2006. We're now at 140 employees across Europe. And essentially, we've grown over the last few years and been able to scale our business off the back of building recruitment marketing technology that has really allowed us to grow into new markets, expand to over 2,000 global media channel partners, and over 500 enterprise clients. So what could a post-COVID labor market look like? Of course, there's so much uncertainty right now on what is happening next week, let alone next year. So one thing is certain, and that's uncertainty. So what we see is the Bank of England have actually projected that UK unemployment may spike at 2.5 million. So that is across people who are currently furloughed, people being made redundant, and all the other ways that candidates will, end up in the label of unemployed. Now, if this then happens and, there's a turn in circumstances and companies begin to hire again, redeploying people, rehiring, this is going to have a heavy burden on recruitment. And what we see is that traditional recruitment methods, there's no way that they can hit the speed scale and placement quality that's required coming out of this crisis. And what that will mean for candidates will mean, a terrible candidate experience. We already see this online. What you have to do is take a look through LinkedIn right now, and you'll see, people complaining. But that can, increase dramatically in terms of, the application process, but the actual assessment process, onboarding processes. These are all things that the traditional methods won't be able to deal with. Application volumes will become so unmanageable, which will mean that companies will need to have a way more targeted communication. And that means making sure that you are speaking to the right people, your message is getting to the right people, so that you can reduce the amount of volume of applications that are not right for the business, and reduce that workload for recruitment. Now, it's really important that companies do not get stuck. I mean, the last few years, there's been a way where, recruitment can slowly transform and adopt technologies to adapt to the changing times. But what we see right now is that things are moving so quickly. There's going to be, very quick adoption of new technologies. So companies are not stuck in the short term, which can be detrimental on, the performance of the business overall. So ways that you can get stuck, supplier contracts. So this is a really traditional approach to recruitment advertising. And one thing, we noticed as a company going into this was with a halt of recruitment for 2 to 3 months, still ongoing for some companies, we would get questions like, we're stuck with a job board contract and we don't even know if we're going to use these credits, they're going to expire by the end of the year. Is there something we can do? Also, we've had a change of strategy. We now need to find different types of candidates. The job board contracts we have now are no longer of use. What can we do? These are all ways that the traditional approach to recruitment advertising really limited the flexibility and creativity of companies to actually change their strategy when things go south or just change in general. Managing multiple suppliers takes a lot of time. So this is something we also noticed is that companies, will have to manage multiple stakeholders at different job board vendors or technology vendors in general, which causes a lot of processing, a lot of meetings, a lot of Zoom meetings that probably didn't need to happen. So how can you get stuck or not get stuck in wasting that time? Organizing and launching campaigns. So what's going to happen post-COVID is companies are going to need to be very agile in actually getting campaigns live, but also being able to change campaigns throughout when something in the situation changes. So organizing, launching campaigns and optimizing campaigns traditionally is a very manual process. It involves lots of communication. Sometimes it's not even possible to be able to do that. So it's really important that companies in the future are able to organize and launch these campaigns quickly and efficiently when the business demand comes in. And finally, this isn't something that's new. This is something companies have been talking about for a long time, is actually using performance data to guide the channel strategy of your advertising. It's something that companies have been looking to do, but I really think that this is something that needs to speed up in the coming months. So companies are actually spending their budget wisely on channels that are actually working. So candidates behave differently online. So when we look at, different types of candidates, if you've got white collar, blue collar, high volume recruitment, niche recruitment, these are all different types of candidates that have different online media habits. And what we see over COVID is media habits change dramatically from, historically traditional channels like newspapers to, the increase in watching videos on YouTube or the increase of use of social media. It's really important that companies are able to have a tailored approach for every audience that they're looking to recruit, and be able to move across different channels when consumption habits change. But the media landscape is so far and wide, and it's growing so quickly, from your traditional job boards to your niche channels to apps to social media to PPC job boards. It's almost impossible for companies to have, and recruitment departments in particular, to have a well-rounded knowledge of the entire landscape and be able to make best use of those channels. Whole B2C marketing teams are built around this particular part. And of course, recruitment marketing is more than just job ads and job boards. We're not talking specifically about, just putting a job ad online. What's going to happen in the coming months is you're going to see a huge volume of job ads go online. And I guarantee all of them are going to look pretty much the same. So it really is time that companies are able to go out there with more than just job ads and start to use imagery, start to use video in a targeted way, meaning that you're actually getting an influx of candidates that are more aligned already with what you are as a business and what you offer. That will make your life simpler, and it will make the candidates more engaged. So the recruitment marketing platform. So this is the technology that I spoke about earlier. And in essence, it does four things really well. One is channel selection. So actually identifying the best possible channels for your audience based on our historical data, and actually being able to purchase this media directly via Vonk with discounts on the media that we're able to provide you with. Next to this is the distribution. So that's actually being able to process the campaign, get it live quickly, turn it around in an automated way, which really saves a lot of time in this process part. And the third thing is analytics, which is actually looking at your campaigns and looking at what's happening, what the results are that are coming out, what is working, what isn't working, and being able to change your channel strategy based on performance. So let's take a closer look at the actual platform itself. So what you'll see here is the draft campaigns in the center of the screen. You can then actually look at your jobs that have been imported from your ATS. From your ATS, you can then decide to actually build a campaign about that specific role. What you'll need to do is fill out some information about the target audience that you're looking to reach. And this will help our platform in giving you advice on what channels to use. So within a click of a button, you'll receive a media mix recommendation with a list of channels, more information about each channel, the price of using Vonk, and you can easily build your campaign with social media channels, niche channels, generalist channels, and it's ultimately down to you and what channels you use in your campaign. Once you're happy with your campaign, very simply, you move to the next step, which is just filling out some basic information about the role, which will then get posted across the multiple channels that you've selected. Once you've launched the campaign, you can then filter the analytics section to look at the data from all of your campaigns. So this is an overview of all your performance in terms of advertising. Next to that, you can go into much more detail on individual campaigns. So you can take a specific role and actually look at what has happened in that specific campaign, which channels were used, what was the results in terms of clicks, in terms of applications, in terms of completion rates, and also geographies. So where are those candidates coming from specifically? Now, I mentioned ATSs, so our platform can be integrated with almost every ATS that's out there. And what that means is we can actually pull through your roles from your ATS into the platform to speed up the process of actually launching campaigns. Of course, what is the cost advantage and how does this work? With Vonk, you only pay for the media you purchase in the platform. So you saw the various channels and the various costs. These are all discounted. So Vonk buys in scale for all of our clients, and we pass that discount on to each of our clients. Next to this, if you do have your own contract, an existing contract with a supplier, what you are then able to do is actually upload that contract into the Vonk platform and use those postings alongside the wide portfolio of channels that you can leverage via Vonk. So, of course, don't take my word for it. We've got a case study here from Nationwide Building Society on how they've implemented our technology into their business.
Nationwide Building Society is the world's largest mutual. We have 15.3 million members in the UK and Northern Ireland and provide 1 in 12 mortgages to that market. Our emerging talent strategy is critical to our business success here at Nationwide. We need to encourage and attract a pipeline of talent into our business to help us remain relevant and competitive.
One of our biggest challenges that we had at Nationwide for our graduate recruitment was the quality of candidates. Before we used Vonk's recruitment marketing platform, we were very reactive in our graduate recruitment rather than being proactive. We would advertise all of our graduate recruitment through very generic job boards in the traditional graduate recruitment way.
Nationwide's got a really strong consumer brand. We're known for mortgages, current accounts and savings, but we've also got a fantastic employer brand, including a really good graduate scheme. But for this campaign, our objectives were really clear. We wanted to improve the diversity and reach a new audience base. We wanted to increase awareness of our scheme, but we also wanted to increase the quality as well as the quantity of applications. So it was really important to take our graduate audience from that awareness to education stage. And we did this by producing really rich content, videos, imagery and compelling landing pages. We were able to distribute our content to a relevant audience. We used their historical data so we knew the channels that we were targeting were the right ones. And using that information, we used targeted advertising in the form of programmatic social media and Google advertising to great effect.
Running our targeted graduate campaign through Vonk's platform has allowed us to talk to graduates who really want to work for Nationwide. It's also allowed us to be in the market at the right time.
Key for us was using Vonk's platform analytics during the campaign. What this allowed us to do was get real-time data and insight on the performance of the campaign.
By attracting high-quality, talented graduates, we're now running less assessment centres, saving not only time for our resourcing team, but also time for our hiring manager and time and money for Nationwide.
We've been able to engage with more diverse audiences, gain greater insights into the campaigns, hire at speed, and ultimately give us greater return on investment.
We've managed to run a much more targeted graduate campaign this year. For the candidates that have come through to us have been a much higher quality, and we've attracted a much more diverse candidate pool. As a result, we are looking to close our campaign 6 weeks earlier compared to last year.
After the success of the graduate programme with Vonk, we're now in planning stage for our 2020 apprenticeship programme. And guess what? We're applying the same methodology because it's tried and it's tested and it's worked.
So we're really thankful for everyone to join our presentation today. We hope that we got some great learnings and takeaways.